Okay, this is just one little point that I feel I have to share with you when you're using the camera sequencer, and it's called crossing the line. I mean, this is actually something to do with movie making. So I've got our three cameras here. I'm just gonna go to this layout here. So that's my perspective. So I'm just gonna look at this in this camera view here, just scrubbing it backwards and forwards. So we've got that, and that. Okay. Now I've shrunk these cameras down to size. Now I'm just going to put them back up again briefly, so we can see. And this one I'll make them all 5 so we can see them. I'm just going to show you something. Now let's just say we're not going to use this camera, we're going to use this camera. So as opposed to using the yellow camera, we're going to use the blue one, which is camera 3. So what I'm going to do is, if I look at my shots presently, I've got the red camera from above, then it switches to the yellow, and then it goes to the green. Now I'm going to go to the yellow camera, and if I right click on the clip, I can change the camera, and I'm going to change it to camera 3, which is the blue camera. I'm just going to pull it back a bit. Now I'm going to show you, have a look at what this looks like. So if I play this, we see this situation. That. Now I think you can see that looks a little strange. Now the reason it looks strange is this. We have this thing in filmmaking called crossing the line, and I'm going to make a red line so you can see what we're talking about here. That is when you have a character or movement happening going in one direction, you want your cameras, in this case, because he's going from screen, well, more or less, if we look at it, he's going more or less. I'll switch the camera back again very quickly. Change camera to camera 2. So if we look at this, what is happening is he's going screen left to screen right, yeah, in these shots. So when we switch to the blue camera, change camera to camera 3, all of a sudden he's going screen left, screen right, and then screen right, screen left, and then back again. Now you can place your camera, if I go back to the perspective view, directly on the line. There's nothing wrong with me taking this camera here. I can place it over and turn it round this way, so that if I scrub through this, we go this, and actually I'm just going to turn this around a little bit more to the front, so I'm going to move it like that. This is still going to work fine. You know, having him going this way, and then straight towards us, it still works. But the problem is when you have the character, when the camera goes around a bit, and you have the characters going screen left. Sorry, I'm going to switch this camera back again so it makes sense what I'm talking about. Put it back to camera 2. If we have him going screen left to screen right, and then even subtly changing the other way, it can start to get confusing. So that's it. You just have to remember, if you have motion, to kind of keep it moving in more or less the same direction. It's a common mistake when people, it can become confusing when people put cameras in various places as to where the character is and what direction it's moving in. So just something that you should be wary of in moving shots. If a character's moving one way and you have a couple of cameras shooting from a certain angle, if you imagine an imaginary line moving along the direction that the character is moving, then you shouldn't have cameras on the other side of it. Generally speaking, sometimes these rules are broken, but generally speaking it can make things confusing. Anyway, I hope that was of use.